Hey folks, it's Jumping Quills, and welcome back to, I guess, the weekly Ramble. This should be our third edition of it. And today's episode, or today's little edition, is going to be about pet peeves. That's right, the things that make us go, I hate you, or it, or whatever it is. I gotta say before I go anywhere else, it has been a hot as hell week. Today's like the first day of this week that has been relatively bearable for me to sit in my room without any fan or noises on. Because I legitimately cannot stand it when it's super hot in my room. It's so stuffy, there's no airflow, and I felt nauseous and sick, which is why there's really only one Bannerlord video out this week and nothing but Paint the Town Red, because I could not sit here for more than like an hour at most just to record. But yeah, so I'm recording this on Thursday, and luckily it's not too hot anymore, so thank God, because I could not. I've had my good... This thing that you're hearing, this is my fan right next to me, blowing on me in the maximum setting for the past 4 days, and it has been keeping me alive. It's not dying from heat stroke. So yeah, there's that. I've been miserable the past few days, and yeah, pet peeves. Let's get back into that. So I got to start with some things. Pet peeves of mine. I don't have that many. Now there's things that like I really hate, but like I don't think it's so much that. But my pet peeves, I gotta say, like things that people will do, like it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it can. If people keep doing it, it makes it like you absolutely hate them. I think the first pet peeve I ever had, and this came from my old man. Like I never really realized it until then, but people telling me the same thing over and over again, as if I don't understand what they're saying. It's like I could be doing something, or like, and I guess in a way it's like instructions, like, oh, do this over and over. And I could be doing it, I'm trying my best. It's like, you're not doing it. Like, I know what you're saying. Please, I am trying. Just stop saying it. It's not helping me. That kind of stuff. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. To me, it's just really annoying. I feel like to most people it would be really annoying. Like, you need to say something maybe once or twice to me. After that, like, you keep saying it, it's like, I don't know. I don't know I'm going to be okay with you. So someone just saying the same thing over and over again, whether it be a joke, instructions, it just gets old, and it gets very annoying very fast. Especially if they're saying it in a way where it's like they keep trying to say it and they're trying to be like funny with it, or like they think I'm mentally not able to understand what they're saying. It's like I do. I almost had a very, like, just an example of that. I almost had a very, I guess it was a funny instance of this pet peeve, where I kind of just like left. I was like left just thinking, what the fuck did I just experience? I was working at Ralph's, because we have Ralph's. I don't know if Ralph is it's all over the United States, or I think it is. I don't believe it's only limited to the West and like Midwest. But I worked at Ralph's. I worked in the deli. I have a woman who comes up, and I love working deli. I love dealing with people. It was super fun. I had a woman who comes up, and she wants some mac and cheese from the deli section. I'm like, okay, I can make that happen. Problem is she wanted the amount of mac and cheese we could not feasibly serve in any containers that we had. They were all too small for the amount that she wanted. And the problem is when it arrived is I didn't know she wanted mac and cheese at first, because she walked up to the glass and started tapping on it, but there was like 4 other things in the area she could have been pointing to. She could have been pointing to the fried chicken that we had, or I think we had some like potatoes in there as well. I'm like, what are you pointing at, ma'am? And thank God her husband was here with her, because if her husband wasn't here, we were going to be having a call the manager type moment. And she keeps tapping the glass. I asked, like, ma'am, I can't tell what you're pointing at. She just taps it and nods at me, like you listen here, you stupid motherfucker. Like, you're getting paid minimum wage to deal with my ass. I'm gonna keep pointing at this thing. And she never once said any words of what she wanted. She just, can I get some of this? I'm like a large thing of this, and I'm like, I can't tell. I'm looking over the edge. I'm like, what is she looking at? I can't tell. And then her husband, God bless her husband. He's like, he goes, honey, you haven't told him what we want. He was like, she's like, oh, I want mac and cheese. I'm like, okay, how much you want? It's like, oh, blah, 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 this much. It's like, we don't have a container that large, so, yeah, sorry. They're like, oh, great, they're upset. But I could tell the husband throughout the whole thing was just looking at me, like, dude, I am so sorry for that. It's like, I looked at I looked at my coworker in the back, and they were just watching me throughout the entire thing, and like they ended up walking away because we couldn't help them. I felt bad for them and whatnot. They had to go to a different store. They wanted an assload of mac. If it was like their kid's birthday, it was so much mac and cheese, and their employee just looks at me It's like he just shrugs. He's like, "What the fuck?" I just shrug back. I'm like, "I don't fucking know." So that was the funny instance of that kind of pet peeve. It's like I just retail leads to some interesting, both saddening but interesting, some interesting things. Oh God, another pet peeve of mine, and this is a weird one. It has to do with sponges. Um, it's in sponges. I have a roommate, or had a roommate. Unfortunately, we won't be living together anymore since we're moving out of the apartment, and he's going to be graduating from college. I'm going to be staying in for one more year. But he, I hate leaving sponges in the sink. Or no, I guess is the best way to put it. There's two things with this sponges. I hate when you don't squeeze the water out of a sponge. Like if you have a sponge and like you just like used it right. I feel like the proper thing to do is to squeeze the water out and set it aside so like it doesn't, it's just out of the way. It'll dry and be used again. So there's that part. Then there's also the pet peeve tied to that is when you use it, but then you proceed to leave it in the sink. I absolutely hate that in every single regard because the way I see it, and maybe this is unjustified, maybe it is, I have no idea. To me, it just grosses me out. All I see is you have a wet sponge sitting in the sink, soaking up all that kind of dirtiness, and sure, it's a sponge, you put soap on it, you technically clean it when you use it. I hate touching it. It's just gross and it grinds my gears. I don't know if that's I guess that's what you said. Yeah, no, it's just sponge. They need to be squeezed out like as soon as you use it and put to the side. God help me if that makes me a bad roommate, but I just genuinely, I get just the jitters thinking from that. It's not fun. I know there's a few of my friends have also had their pet peeves as well. Technically, this is like a pet peeve for anyone. I feel like everyone just hates being interrupted, right? Like you're trying to talk, and like now, granted, like if you're trying to talk in a noisy like voice chat, right, and everyone's talking, if you get interrupted, I think you can't get annoyed at that because you're trying to talk over everyone else. At the same thing, you're doing the same damn thing. And if it's in like a small voice chat, like you're a voice chat with only a few people, and it's silent, and you start talking, right, and then someone else just starts talking over you, I think you have every right to be pissed about that, especially if it's like you tell them like, hey, I'm trying to talk, or someone else tells them, hey, they're trying to talk, and so they quiet down. You go to start talking again. It's like they just start talking. Like I don't know whether they do it purposely or unintentionally. It is fucking infuriating. It is so infuriating to do that, or to have to experience that. Just 'cause it's like, come on, just please be patient. Shut up. Wait your turn to talk. Obviously, I have interrupted people before. I'm not saying I'm innocent of this. I'm guilty of many of the things I have done before. Or I have pet peeves. I'm human. I'm imperfect, and that's what makes us so good. And that makes us human. But yeah, it's like other than that, I don't have many pet peeves. I find it hard for me to like dislike a person over pet peeves. Sorry. I find it hard to hate people. Because of pet peeves or whatever. I've only ever come across one person in my life who I ever have genuinely hated. Not disliked, but genuinely hate. Hate is a strong word, and it is only fitting for one person. I have a name for her. I'm not going to call her anything. I'm not going to mention anything other than what she did. For those who know me and know what I'm talking about, that's all. If you have any respect, just out of respect, don't mention her name, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't so much a pet peeve rather than just absolute disrespect, so I won't go into that. That'll probably be a whole little different video on its own. But God, pet peeves. They are... Everyone has something different, and like it can be the weirdest quirky thing, like something that you would never expect from someone. I think there was like someone who has the pet peeve. Okay, I gotta go with this. My old man, he has the strangest pet peeve when he calls it the dishwasher. When it comes to the dishwasher, the plates have to be in a very like specific place. The plates and the bowls have to be like a very specific spot in the dishwasher. If you like put one kind of plate and like put another kind of plate next to it, and it's not the same kind, he gets annoyed by it, and he'll fix it. We have like a joke. It's like I always like if we're ever sitting down at dinner and like I'm putting a plate away, I'm like I gotta look at him like, is this the right place to put it? I can't. It is so. Oh, there goes the little rat. Hold on. You hear the little rat dog, folks? Yeah, there's the little rat dog. That thing has been also annoying me for the past few days. It completely ruined one of my Paint the Town Red recordings because it was like, haha, I'm gonna go bark like crazy now. So it's that little rat dog. It's right like in the corner away from me. That's a pet peeve of mine. I gotta say it's quickly becoming a pet peeve because it's always when I'm trying to do a recording and it never stops. It doesn't. For what one day it started barking. I kid you not, for 5 to 6 hours straight. I nearly lost my mind because I'm like, I just can't freaking record with this thing. And it's like, I had to just like, it's like, all right, screw it. I'm just not going to record today. So I had to record the next day, which I hate doing because it messes up my schedule and it makes me do more work for a day than I'd like to because I'm a lazy motherfucker. But yeah, that fucking little rat dog that you hear in the background is one of my pet peeves now. I hate it. I just like, I don't know what compels it to bark so much. There's no like electron. My dog, when I had my dog, God bless Deuce, he was a good dog. He hated the garbage truck. He would bark at it. There's no garbage truck. There is nothing going on. I don't know what that dog is barking about, but I'm ranting about it and it's become a pet peeve, so you can tell I'm getting annoyed by it. So 3 pet peeves I can currently think of that drive my gears at the top of my head. But you know what, folks? I want to hear what your pet peeves are. I want to hear what you guys think. What drives your gears, what gets you annoyed, and just kind of share it. It's always fun talking about this kind of stuff because if people know it, if they're respectful, they'll try to avoid it. If they want to have a laugh, they'll try to drive you a little bit. But hopefully, most people are reasonable enough to not do it too much, just to kind of annoy you, but not to make you like kind of have a little smile about it at the end. Because once a little bit of it, it's okay. But yeah, with that being said, folks, tell me what you think down in the comments. I'd love for you guys to have a conversation about this. I'd love to engage with that conversation for you folks. But yeah, with that being said, I've got nothing else for this video. So if you liked what you heard and you want to see more or hear more in the future, you know what to do. This has been Jumping Quills, and I'll see you folks in the next one.